right-wing women and left-wing women. Two species of women in modern society. Now, everyone has a preference. I personally am more inclined to like right-wing women. But there are those that like left-wing women better. Now, I'm not trying to say that your decision is inherently wrong, but I am saying that your decision will probably result in the person that you like dying at the age of 46 of a heart attack, unfortunately. Now, right-wing women, on the other hand, have a longer life expectancy in general, and also tend to want to have children and build a beautiful family. Left-wing women, on the other hand, tend to not like that stuff and prefer to be fat and dead and alone. It's just something I've noticed as a man. So I feel like the only person that could properly tell you about women is a man, because women are obviously biased. You see, right-wing women, they have their own way to live their life, and left-wing women have another perspective. Fat is love. So now I'll be real here. This is someone that actually decides they want to look good for other people, and this is someone that wants to make believe that they look good for themselves. But the fat movement is dying. And today we're going to be talking about the death of the fatties. So anyway, every woman I see mad at her is fat or ugly, usually both. True, because no one hates pretty women as much as fat women. Fat women are the arch nemesis of pretty women, because pretty women are inherently dethrone them from any possible status they could have. Why would you be into a left-wing woman if you could be into a right-wing woman? This is the question. Now, there is something of a controversy on the internet for a very long time called fat phobia. Now, this is a real thing. All right, this is a real thing. The abstract fear of fat people, it definitely exists, because if they sit on you, you will die. You will die. This is a rational fear. There is no phobia. It is completely rational. Now, the reason why I think fat phobia is a appropriate word is because realistically, you could outrun them. You could literally outrun them. So, like, it is kind of an irrational fear if you think about it, because while you'd think that it's a good fear if they jump on you, they will not be able to catch you. So therefore, the fear remains irrational. Now, as a fat phobe myself, I have to say, I am definitely enjoying the fat genocide that is happening in society. So, I have a lot of really, really exciting videos today about how people, to be honest, the biggest advantage, I'll be real here. The biggest advantage to being around fat people is that if a bear chases you and your fat friend, you will be able to outrun your fat friend. And then the bear will leave you alone, if you know what I'm saying. So there are advantages to fat people, but usually it's fodder. Again, I'm sure that I have fat people in my audience. I don't mean to offend you. I'm just telling you the way of the world. So anyway, this is a leftoid crashing out because Ozempic is causing a fat genocide.
When they're trying to whittle down every single fat person, they're so excited that they found a drug that makes it so we don't exist anymore.
True! You're not a species. You're not an ethnicity. You are a diseased creature. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude here. I'm sure that, again, no offense to fat people in my audience, but you literally have a disease that you can outrun. Being fat is not your identity, lady. It means there's more of you to love. Don't get me wrong. But, like, the love is more spread out, if you know what I'm saying. The love is more spread out, like, so basically each one of your molecules inherently gets less love. That's what I'm trying to say.
And again, not to...
Now, you have to realize, Lizzo over here, she used to be into body positivity fat shit until she started taking Ozempic and lost weight, and all of a sudden, oh my god! I mean, my asshole is looser, but to be honest, I'm actually not pro-fat people anymore. Because people are only pro-fat people when they are forced to be fat. This is the way of the world. People don't understand what it's like. People will never comprehend the reality of the world. We must cull the fatties from society before they cull themselves. That's right. And you want to know the best example of this? Every poor person is against the rich until they become the rich. And then all of a sudden, they are against the super rich. Have you ever noticed everyone chanting about how the millionaires need to die? Once they become millionaires, now they only want the billionaires to die? Have you noticed? We call it the Hassan Piker Bernie Sanders effect. That's the game. You support the millionaires dying when you're not a millionaire, and then you become a millionaire, and then you will only support the billionaires dying. It's pretty weird. They hate you because they ain't you. So that is why the leftist women hate the right-wing women. The left-wing women and the right-wing women are an eternal battle, constantly. It's truly evil. So that's why you have me. That's why you have me, a based man, to decide it. So anyway, there's back back to the fat genocide, because the word genocide means nothing anymore.
Value any of these things. I consider them all very important. If tomorrow
She could vote, by the way.
they released a drug that said, okay, we cured blackness.
Yeah, blackness isn't a disease. So good argument coming from the racist left once again. Every time it doesn't stop. The leftoids are the racist ones. You see, me by saying that there's more crime in black society than in white society, that's not me being racist. That's me understanding life. Okay, and I can blame it on socioeconomic factors and stuff. But she being racist AF.
If you just take
That's
this
great.
pill, you can be white. And then the problem will be fixed.
Problem?
The blackness wasn't the problem.
We know. Yeah, true. Yes, true. That's why black people don't die of heart attacks in their 40s. Unlike fat people who do die of heart attacks in their 40s. This is insane.
problem was the system that ever made anyone think they needed to be anything other than what they are.
Yeah, you are still you if you lose weight and become healthy.
Ozempic and these weight loss drugs are trying to exterminate fat people. They want to get rid of us. Fat phobia is racism.
Fat phobia is not racism. It is real, but it's also justified. It's justified. It is, absolutely. I mean, have you ever been sat on by a fat person? Like, to be honest, it's a legitimate fear, I'll be honest.
Like,
Ever since I played my first Pokemon game and Snorlax used Body Slam, I just haven't been able to look at the fats the same way.
racism is classism.
No, classism isn't actually racism. Now, both of those you could argue are bad. You could argue that both of them are bad, but being fat is none of those things.
Racism is racism.
Yeah, classism is racism is classism, fatism is racism, fat phobia is racism, is classism. Also, they want fat genocide. So anyway, that's where we're at today. This is breaking news. This was just published like a week ago. This is breaking news. The fats are angry. Now, the fats continue to have bad days because Pete Hegseth, our new Secretary of War in the United States of America, God bless the United States of America, he has, let's just say, been cooking. He delivered a blistering speech to all the generals in the country and was like, no more fatties! Based, by the way. I do not want fatties in the military, mostly because of their fatness.
With physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise,
Get him out of here! Get him out of here! Oh, get him out! Get him out! But you're not being inclusive to the fat people. They're in the military!
it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
Agreed!
And leading
Get those lardos out of the hall! I don't want no general that walks onto a scale and sees his phone number. I don't want no general that's in 2 area codes at the same time.
Mans around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are.
It's bad. It's
So what-
bad, and you're fat, and you can't even wipe your own ass. Come on, dude.
Whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you
right.
need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your P test.
Days.
And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the joint force at every rank is
That's
required
right.
to take a P test twice a year,
No more fats.
as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year,
That makes sense.
every year of service.
Bro, you do not want people in the military to look like 3 donuts stacked on top of each other.
Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already.
So yeah, so people, the leftoids are very mad about this, obviously, because they think that for some reason diversity is important in the military, and diversity includes fat people, obviously, because somehow it makes sense to have soldiers that literally can't walk up a flight of stairs without breathing heavily. So that's crazy. So everyone's like, oh my god, but Trump is over it. Trump's 80 years old, and he's not a military general. So you're retarded. Now, anyway, let's watch fatties get purged. Far too long have we been tolerant towards the fats in the military. Finally got the orders to get the fuck out of Fort Hood. Bye. Bye ho. Sorry. You will not be missed. You fat, not easy. Oh well, goodbye. Bye ho. Anywho, here's another fat. We found her, a fat. As you can see, she fills out her car and uniform very nicely.
I actually have never had anything Dubai chocolate bar or anything, but y'all hyped this up, so it must.
Fat. She's literally a military officer in military uniform doing food review videos. I mean, to be fair, you will not be able to get her in a chokehold, but on the other side, she would not be able to catch anything that she chases.
Be the bee's knees. And it better be the way that y'all was talking about it. Let's open it. Ooh, it looked just like the TikToks.
Yeah, anyway, she fat, get out. Fat, out, fat. Her 2 mile time is eventually. Fat, says Angry Cops. He's right, he's actually correct. Fat. True. Someone send me your social media, I must research this. Now, the thing is that's so interesting about this is obviously, damn, Angry Cops, I had no idea she was your type. Type 2 diabetes, got him! Anyway, this is an old clip of me. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. I posted this months ago, but it still works.
Was the most difficult from what I understand. I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a
Like,
businessman,
no!
very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat.
He takes the fat!
And he called me up and he said,
it's expensive as well.
he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question?
Oh, God.
I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. I said,
Oh, God!
I just paid $88. And in New York, I paid $13. It was the most difficult for
Based. That's the President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen. I just felt like that was a worthy inclusion over here. Obviously, that's a real bro. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. A real bro will be like, it ain't working. You fat. Go to the gym. That's a real bro. A real hoe be like, damn, girl, you looking beautiful. You looking good. There's more of you to love. You living your best life. I'm just saying. I'm just being real here for a second. So anyway, Sydney Watson made a video, Fat Acceptance is Over, which is true. It's never begun. I'll be real. I think fat acceptance is one of those things that never really existed. Like, a lot of people were screaming about it, but no one actually ever really accepted it because it's unhealthy. These people are dying. All right, let's see what the video's about.
Well, I guess another one bites
No!
the dust.
That's a crazy intro, man.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome.
Nugs, the fat people are gonna cancel you. Bro, I can outrun them. I am not scared of getting canceled by people that I could outrun. Okay, I'll be real. But when the trans Tifa terrorists come for me, those guys are violent and they have long-range weaponry. All right, but the fats, I could literally outrun them.
Back to hell. Just a reminder once again, for those of you who don't know, 50% off on my tea website, Lions Tea Exchange, for the flavors Earl Grey, New York Breakfast, and Emerald Green, because they are expiring, although tea doesn't really expire, at the end of November. I don't want to throw them out, so I would love for you guys to go and check them out. If you haven't bought tea already, go and do so, because they're very tasty. Use the code We Don't Waste. Okay, let's do the video. So, my little baby birds, fat acceptance.
That's us.
That
That's
has
us.
done almost everything for the last decade or so. Whether we'd asked
It's
for
true. They made believe that people actually accepted this. Like, I feel like this was the one woke thing that even the retards didn't accept this one.
it or not, which most of us haven't. Also,
No, that's not true. Retards did accept this. They were like, you have to call women beautiful even when they're ugly as fuck. Like, I don't want to be rude here, but if they're ugly, what do you want to lie to them? You want to lie to them? I tell the truth to the people I love and respect. It sounds to me like you don't love and respect them, but I do. I love and respect them so much. I tell them they fat. Not trying to be rude here. I'm just being real. Like, you know, sometimes they fat.
don't any of you judge the way that I am holding this mug. It is both heavy and hot. Ironically, all the things that fat acceptance women wish they were. Hello, cherub children.
Ah! Heavy and hot. That's crazy. That was a good one. Beauty has no weight limit. Yes, it does! It does! It does! Yes, it absolutely... 14,000 likes, bro. I'm telling you, these 14,000 likes, they are all women. They are all women that are liking this post to psyop other women into becoming fat so that they don't become their competition. I am telling you, there is no way.
Editing Sydney from the future here. I just realized that the last fat acceptance movement video that I made, I wore this exact same shirt. And it's entirely a coincidence that I did it again. Wow. I own different clothes, I promise, but I guess going forward, this is going to be the fat acceptance shirt. So there's that. I just wanted to acknowledge it because I thought it was funny. But this has been a movement that's been quite challenging to escape. From fat models going down runways to taking up magazine covers.
Bro, Dorothy ate the Wizard of Oz over there.
To escape. From fat
Oh, Dorothy. Oh, Dorothy.
models going down runways to taking up magazine covers and billboards.
Taking up? Bro, there ain't no back background.
The modeling industry itself has grown.
Dude, the double nose ring, that's diabolical. There's just something evil about this. Like, you know what? I don't mean to be. I'm saying this out of love and respect. Like, I do this because of love. Love is when you tell the truth to people. All right. Love is when you tell people the truth. That's what I tell transgender people that say that they change genders. But also, you look like a thwomp. Like, I'm not even saying this to be mean. I'm just saying, like, you look like a thwomp, lady.
Bigger, with plus-size models comprising of 26% of all models at major fashion week events globally
Yeah, so
as of 2020.
26%, but also 60%, like if you like calculate it by mass.
25. Fat activists went so hard that the fashion industry even started making fat mannequins. As fat acceptance and body positivity blew up online, activists on TikTok created
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is just literally to spite men. Because realistically, men are not as attracted to fat women because fat women are uglier. So it's actually crazy, man. It's actually insane. It's insane. Like, it's actually just out here to torpedo men. That's why they all do the fucking shaving half their hair. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? When they shave like half the side of their head, and they have like the lesbian hairdo that they have in every single one of these movies. You know what I'm talking about? So, like, dude.
Entire intersectional hierarchy of fatness. You've heard about fat phobia, but have you heard about skinny supremacy? And yes, I traded out the T because this is light and skinny, sort of.
And
I see what you did there.
I think that's what it is. You have to constantly uphold thinness as supremacy. Even if
You have to uphold thinness as supremacy. You have to uphold thinness as supremacy, says the squash from Plants vs. Zombies. Yeah, that's right. I went there. I'm sorry.
it means
Well, you can't uphold fatness. It's too heavy.
you are in telling them, oh, you're so much better now, you're like shitting on yourself. That's the other reason I don't do it, because I don't want to say thinness is inherently better, because that means I'm inherently worse.
And my personal favorite, the BMI scale is racist.
Especially if you're a white woman like myself, is how our participation in diet culture.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Every single day, I feel like we need to repeal the 19th Amendment more. Bro, you get these fat white women, liberal retards out there that are like, yeah, actually, fatness is good for society. And then they vote. Like, what are we doing?
The pursuit of the thin
Dude, can you
ideal.
believe we gave women access to social media? Oh my god, this is crazy! I'm kidding, obviously. Joking.
Is a form of racism. It's
Oh my God.
the white supremacist idea.
Bro, I could do this with all of you. Every single one of you. You think I can't do this with all of you? I can. I absolutely can. I'm sorry. Return the slab.
It's really important that we see that we are participating in this supremacy culture.
Oh my
And in
God.
the body hierarchy by continuing.
She hates that she's white so much. She hates being white so much because she feels like she's a supremacist. That she needs to invent a new hierarchy where she could be oppressed. She hates that women have equal rights. She hates that black people have equal rights. So she needs to come up with a new form of hierarchy so that she could feel oppressed in society. That's not bullshit.
Our
Not needed.
obsession with thinness. And so if you want to learn more about this, Google the bizarre and racist roots of the BMI.
They teach this stuff at universities. Just so that
That's
you guys
insane.
know. In case you needed another reason to go become a plumber. For the last number of years, fat activists have even argued that they
I'm
shouldn't.
fat. I should not have to buy 2 seats in a plane. You don't get extra rights because you can't control what you put in your mouth. Why are we even entertaining this?
Have to purchase an additional seat on airplanes if they're too big for just one.
This is like saying I'm white, so I shouldn't need to pay for sunscreen. I should get it for free.
As a result, airline companies
I
like
am oppressed because I eat too much food and can't control myself.
Southwest even offered free additional seats for plus-size passengers by allowing them to request refunds after the fact or request a free extra seat upon arriving at the airport. Fun fact,
So these people want extra food and extra rights.
the Air Carrier Access Act may actually consider obesity a disability because it substantially limits things, like traveling. That's gonna be a no from me there, champ. And let's not forget my own experience flying fat, where I was sat betwixt two very large individuals whose
Sorry.
fat rolls were touching my body.
Oh,
Still.
no, dude, that's trauma. That's PTSD. It's like, oh, you have PTSD too? Yeah, I was at Nam, and you're like, yeah, I was on Spirit Air betwixt two fatzos.
I feel it now. Not great. Not my favorite. And apparently that story went viral. I guess it was a slow news week that week or something. I won't lie to you all. I have been on the internet for a minute, and I always find the stupidest things that I do are the things that go viral. Not the thought out, thoughtful things that I put into the world. The stupid stuff. Like me getting sat on by a fat. I wrote about that experience for Newsweek, of all places, for the love of God. Anyway, we have been blasted with these things and many, many more for quite a long time in an effort to promote different body types and get away from the heroin chic of the 2000s. Heroin is in. Not the, oh, I'm gonna fight a dragon.
What do you mean? Aren't drug addicts also an oppressed part? Like, what's the difference? I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm just saying this like out of personal curiosity. What's the difference between someone addicted to food and morbidly obese and someone that is addicted to heroin and is an actual drug addict? Literally, what's the difference? It is the same thing. It is someone without self-control that is poisoning themselves. It is the same thing. And we're not here saying that drug addicts, you have drug addict phobia, all right? We're not doing this garbage. We're not playing this game. It's like, there's a little bit of a sober supremacy for non-alcoholics.
Like everything else that I've talked about in this series, and yes, me talking.
And for the record, obesity will kill you faster than alcohol. All right, there are alcoholics that live into their older years, and very, very few morbidly obese people get there.
About these movements ending is a series now. The overemphasis on being terribly overweight, the normalization of being terribly overweight, is coming to an end. And it's for very similar reasons to the deaths of the LGBT movement, the gender ideology.
It's the whole woke shit. The woke shit's falling apart because it was based on spit and duct tape. It was based on trying to silence discussion, right? It was ultimately all founded on censorship, right? If you call someone out, they will cancel you. They'll call you transphobic, homophobic, LGBTphobic. They'll call you homophobic. They'll call you fatphobic. They'll give you a phobic. They'll make you a phobe or an ist, and that's how they shut you down. And essentially, that doesn't work. That does not work, man. Sorry. So, being that it was literally, to quote God in the book of Job, he hung the world on nothingness. And that's basically what this entire movement was, except the difference is the woke people aren't God, so therefore it's not going to stand forever.
Movement, the trans movement, and so on. In part, people have simply gotten sick of it, and the more people who've gotten sick of it, the more that companies have followed suit. Southwest is walking back its free seating policies, and I'm actually pretty sure that other airlines are doing exactly the same thing. Other companies have wiped their body positivity web pages and shifted away from body positivity in fashion and advertising. And would you actually look at the state of advertising?
I really appreciate
We're
the zoom.
back to the models and celebrity vibes of
The thing about Sydney Sweeney is, like, she does have fat. She just has fat in the best places, is what I'm trying to say.
2000s, which were quite thin. But more importantly, I don't think your average person actually wants to be fat. Like, a portion of them do.
Of course
because
not.
There's some weird stuff around that. But your average...
Dude, absolutely not. That no one wants to be fat. People only make believe that they're okay with it because that's what they are. Dude, that's why every disabled person is going to say it's good to be disabled until they actually aren't disabled anymore. Every person that's autistic is, all for autism and stuff. I'm not talking about realistic people. I mean, like, the woke autistic people. Like, they think that being autistic is not a mental illness. But if they could choose to not be autistic, they might choose to not be autistic if it's curable. Realistically, I don't think there's anything wrong with people that are doing these things, but the major difference is you could literally outrun obesity. It is the one disease that you could literally outrun, all right? If you were born autistic, that is the package that God gave you, all right? That's part of your life challenges. You can't change that. Nothing to worry. No reason to worry about it. But if you're fat, you can outrun it.
Person does not want to be overweight. It doesn't feel good.
Just like no one wants to be poor, right? Everyone will say kill the rich while they're poor. But no one wants to be poor. They want to be rich. They want to be the thing that they say they want to kill.
No matter how much you tell the rest of us that you love your roles.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Oh my, that's
But
horrible.
right now,
That was
there's
terrible.
a third reason, and arguably the biggest reason why all of this is taking place. Kind of hilariously, this
Yeah,
era of body
Ozempic.
positivity and fat acceptance was reasonably short-lived, because as soon as people could achieve the bodies they truly wanted with a lot less effort than previously thought, it became clear that body positivity was always a
That's
code.
right. That's what I told you. That's the Lizzo maneuver, right? Lizzo was all for body positivity and fat acceptance until she was able to take a drug and become skinny. It's all a scam.
Thanks to the rise of weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, the death of this movement has
Damn.
only accelerated. You know, not needing to diet or do that pesky exercise to get the bikini body of your dreams is probably quite appealing to most people. But it is really interesting to consider how much these drugs are changing the game. As many of you know, I use Ground News for my research and found on their website that even Pfizer has just purchased a company that will bring injectables to market.
But with all due respect, I don't think I'm ever going to be injecting my shit with my body with Pfizer shit ever. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not trying to say this in a rude way or anything, but nah, dude, I am not injecting myself with Pfizer anything.
There's other reporting at the moment
man.
that says that these kind of drugs are being used as a quick fix. It's really interesting how most of these stories are being covered by the center, according to Ground News, given how polarizing obesity is. But if I went to any other topic...
Obesity is not polarizing. It's not polarizing. Stop it. Everyone agrees obesity is bad. There was just a lie that's being hung on top of society. But no one thinks that shit's good or healthy.
Spoken about recently, like Irina Zarutska's murder, just for example, you can see just how biased the reporting is. From just a week ago, we see North Carolina legislature passing Irina's law, which has mostly been covered by right-wing outlets. That's probably not very surprising to any of you. The first headline here from the left that we see is about J.D. Vance blaming Democrats for the stabbing, whereas right-wing outlets are using headlines about cashless bail and the death penalty, which is what the law is about, not about J.D. Vance. So it really does go to show how these issues get covered by both sides of the aisle and where the biases are. These type of stories always seem to skew to one side or the other, and I know I've harped on this for ages, but it's why it's so important to take the time to educate yourself about what's happening in the news, and this is why Ground News is such a good friend of this channel. We know things are getting more polarized, so it is necessary to have websites like Ground News cutting through all of that. They show you news bias, they let you compare stories, they show you blind spots in the news that you consume, but more importantly, I really encourage you to support them, not only because they have been a long-time supporter of this channel, but because what Ground News is and what Ground News does is so needed during this time. They're subscriber funded, so your support is what keeps them going, and I want to make that really clear. So I strongly encourage you to support Ground News and support what they're trying to do by clicking the link in the description, scanning the QR code on screen, or going to ground.news/Sydney and subscribing through my link for 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the same plan that I use for unlimited use. But here's the kicker, right? And it's something that most of you can probably guess. As the fat acceptance, body positivity movements are nosediving, people in this community are absolutely livid. Influencers and celebrities who built empires on Big is Beautiful, who promoted self-love and wanted to fight fat phobia, are now posting about their size 4 glow-ups, leaving fans feeling betrayed, to put it mildly. And the comment sections on former fat influencers' videos, which were once full of pro-fat positivity, are now absolutely horrific.
I mean, to be honest, I know that no one's saying this and no one wants to say the quiet part out loud here, and I'm not trying to be rude, but it's literally because of censorship. It's because of censorship. People used to censor you. People used to ban you. If you used to be fat phobic, they would label you an ist or a phobe, and they would kill you for it. No, I think it's purely a destruction of censorship and freedom of speech that has kind of been opened up, especially over the last couple of months, that is the reason why people are like, yeah, fat, gross, yucky, poo, lose weight. Sorry, ho. That's why people are being real about it.
I've discussed the origin points of the fat acceptance, body positivity movements before. I would like to quickly reiterate some of that for those of you who don't know, but if you are interested in more information on that, I will link those videos in the description box. Fat activism started all the way back in the 60s. There was a growing backlash to the body messaging of the 40s and 50s that expected women to maintain a tiny frame, take weight loss medication, and stay in perfect shape all of the time.
I mean, to be fair, that is the best way for women to get a husband that's attracted to them and to, you know, take care of them and have children and build a beautiful life together. So I don't know, they kind of had, they were kind of on top, they were kind of on something, not gonna lie, they were kind of on something.
Is impossible. The 70s and 80s gave people extreme diet culture, like the cabbage soup diet that requires people to basically eat nothing.
I hope you're hungry for nothing.
Please enjoy your serving of air. Around the same time, products like Slim Fast popularized
That shit's, yeah.
the liquid diet craze, and group weight loss programs like Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig were quickly gaining popularity. Eating disorders were on full display in celebrities, and it didn't sit too well with a portion of the population. This gave rise to healthy at every size and
This gave rise to lesbians. Yup. You're probably wondering how we got to this situation. Well,
body positivity. The latter arguing that basically you should accept yourself, faults and all. And soon, the same companies who got popular and were once praised for helping people lose unwanted weight were now being accused of body shaming and using toxic, unhealthy tactics. But with the rise of the internet, Tumblr, and Reddit, body positivity morphed and changed and eventually gave way to...
Dude, this is a nightmare, man. Oh Lord, oh God, this is everything wrong with society. That's terrible. That's horrible. That's gross. Then the internet happened, and then all the retards took over, and then they started labeling you an ist and a phobe.
Eventually gave way to fat acceptance and the idea...
This is disgusting. Can we stop normalizing this, please? Can we please stop normalizing this shit? For real. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's horrible. It really is. I don't want people to think this is normal. Absolutely not. Your body is your temple, bro. Your body is many temples.
That fatness is beautiful.
Yeah, we need to start making fun of cross-dressers again. I'm sorry. I know that they're oppressed, but we need to oppress them a little bit more. That's what I'm saying. Hear me out. We need a little bit more oppression. I'm joking. Kidding.
Forward to the 2010s, and it's the Instagram era. Body positivity goes viral with hashtags like fat and fabulous. Brands like Dove and Aerie jump on the bandwagon, pushing real bodies and plus-size lines. But for a brief, beautiful moment, fat activists really believed here that their message was being widely received by a wider audience.
But it wasn't. It was being received by retards that were using their fake empathy to oppress other people.
Pun not intended.
I'll be real, this is just another branch offshoot of the feminist movement. It really is. It's like, it starts off with equality, and then it's like, well, actually, we don't just want you to treat us like humans, we literally want to oppress you. Because that's what feminism's about. Feminism is not about equality, it's about oppression. It's about submission. That's what feminism is about nowadays. I don't care the intentions it had when it started. That's where we're at. You must have empathy for this person that chopped off his own penis when he was 12 years old. You must have empathy and support his decision. No, actually, I will not be doing that. At all, actually. I think that's gross.
But welcomed. Obese models were on magazine covers, runways, and red carpets, and activists...
Actually, I wouldn't describe... I personally would not describe it this way.
Obese models were on magazine covers,
I would describe it as the magazine cover is under the obese model. That's how I would describe this.
Runways and red carpets, and activists were all chanting, "Fat is beautiful." And things continued on like this for some time, with micro-community...
Nah, that's a groomer. That's a groomer. I know him when I see him. This do be a groomer right here.
He's gaining speed and size on TikTok.
That's a gooner. Dude, what the fuck, bro? What are we doing? Mr. Potato Head looking ass. That's crazy.
Giving us some of the most insane videos that I have shown you over the years. Discussion.
When I said groomer, I was actually joking, all right? I don't get sued here. I'm kidding. Not an actual groomer. Just someone that literally wants to teach you an ideology when you are young and manipulate you into believing certain, like a groomer.
Around fatness made their way into everything. Racism, ableism, and it was absorbed.
Could you imagine being a guy that suffered actual racism in your life? I don't know. Maybe you're a black man that was called the N-word by a bunch of unruly white guys. Maybe you were a Jewish man that was people told, fuck you, we want you to die because they're free Palestine people or whatever. Or maybe you're a white guy and people said that you need to start paying reparations to the communities because your ancestors were slave owners. You experience real racism. And then you see a fat ass complaining that they ate too many donuts and couldn't control themselves.
By the overall progressive movement. But with most things in 2025, all of this went too far. And for us normies out there, it became a little bit too much. Because much as it pains some people to hear this, there is such a thing as too many roles. And I would argue the vast majority of people yearn to be fit and healthy and able to run upstairs. And
Dude, if you could decide, you would decide to be skinny. You would decide to be fit. You absolutely would. No one would decide to be fat if they had the option. Come on, dude.
Again, and do not yell at me in the comments for saying this, it's just my opinion. I would argue that a lot of people who jumped on the fat acceptance bandwagon did so because it's a cope. Weight loss for so many people.
Completely true. Completely true. No lies detected. Absolutely it was because it was a cope. For sure. 100%. It's an affirmation. The word affirmation is inherently a cope. Affirming fat people, affirming trans children and stuff like it is a massive cope. 1000% cope, where they are going to affirm your illnesses, whether they're mental illnesses or physical illnesses, so that you feel like there's nothing wrong with it and you literally kill yourself because of it. Whether it's kill yourself of a heart attack at the age of 40 because you're obese, or whether you kill yourself statistically if you affirm mental illnesses. That's the insanity we're dealing with.
Is incredibly challenging, and I'm not going to deny that. You know, we have very sedentary lifestyles. A lot of people do struggle to eat properly just because a lot of American food is highly addictive, has lots of additives, bad additives in it that is not good for you, that leads to rapid weight gain. So in some ways, it is easier to jump on board a movement that co-signs laziness and makes excuses for you not looking the way that you want to look. You know, remember the whole dieting is fatphobic and fatness is genetic stuff? Me too. Me too, fam.
So, the reality is some fatness is genetic, all right? I'll be real. That is a real thing. Some fatness really is genetic. And it's true. And I feel really bad for those people because they really, have a really, really hard time doing anything about it. But ultimately, if you're not putting any food into you, the fatness will kind of go away. Again, I'm not saying that you should starve yourself, but I am saying that even though there absolutely is genetic involvement, it's not like it's a completely impossible Herculean task to try to make yourself more healthy.
But then there appeared seemingly an easier way out of obesity that didn't involve any massive lifestyle changes or dietary changes or...
So, for me personally, the biggest health change for me in regards to my personal diet, I mean, thank God I am not obese, which is a big W. Not that you'd believe me, as you shouldn't. Never trust a man on the internet, literally ever. We're all lying to you. I involved someone in my life that cooks. Oh, God, thank God for cooking. It's delicious and nutritious. Get yourself a wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Doing really anything significant at all. Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. Which I think I'm saying wrong, but I don't care. GLP-1 drugs, as they're known, were supposed to help diabetics, but seem to have become Hollywood's cheat code for weight loss. These shots suppress your appetite so hard that you forget what a cheeseburger tastes like. Suddenly, Healthy at Every Size was out, and low-rise jeans were making a comeback. Angry fat activists began pumping out articles expressing how heroin chic was back in, and they couldn't understand why this was happening. But the change was already in motion, and rather than having to pretend that fat is beautiful and everybody enjoys being...
See, there's another thing that she's not willing to include. I don't know if she's going to get here in her video, because I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not trying to be rude. I mean this in the best way. Like, a lot of the fat influencers died. Like, again, and I mean this in only the, like, I don't want to be rude here, but, like, they actually die out. Like, it's a movement that is propped up by people that only have a couple years left. Like, a lot of the fat activists died at really young ages, you know, because they were obese.
Overweight, celebrities in particular could take these drugs and then lose weight with relative ease. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian were making massive changes. She downsized her famous BBL. Singer Lizzo was losing lots of weight and slimming down after promoting fat acceptance for years.
Yep, that's how it is. She promoted fat acceptance when she couldn't just snap her fingers, take a drug, and lose the weight. Because it was always a cope.
And side note, she had to caption a TikTok video recently. Reminder, you can lose weight and still not be fat phobic. Trying so hard not to lose that audience that doesn't want her to be healthy. It's sad, that's really sad. Meghan Trainor, a musician who previously and proudly sang about not being a size 2, was suddenly and definitely a size 2. Even Weight Watchers started peddling GLP-1s. Recently on that front as well, sports star Serena Williams, of all people, has partnered with a GLP-1 weight loss company, which, you know, definitely wasn't in the bingo card.
That's crazy. I can't believe this man would do that.
This year. She's actually been very busy lately complaining about cotton, as you do.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great.
Wait, are you kidding me? Cotton is racist now? What, because black slaves used to pick cotton? Cotton is racist? Like, dude, you really need to get a life. Like, I'll be real. First you need a husband or something. I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do at that point. But you gotta figure this shit out, man. Historically, slaves cut cane sugar. I think you should start having your coffee unsweetened. Like, this is crazy, man.
So actually, it feels like...
Are you picking cotton yourself? That's crazy.
No polish remover cotton, natural.
So yes, the body positivity movement was
It's all a joke. It's like you need to care about the current thing. It's always about caring about the current thing. These people are insane. They just need something else to care about because they don't have children. That's the sad part. Like, do you understand if this person would have a child? It would change her whole life. She wouldn't need to start looking for things to care about arbitrarily. She would actually have something that she should be caring about in her life. She wouldn't need infinite attention. She wouldn't need to be one of those needy hoes out there. That's crazy.
Co-opted by fat acceptance and morphed into the icky weird thing that we know it as today, which was turned into a bunch of slogans and hashtags, and then a bunch of brands jumped on board to take advantage of the momentum that they saw happening out in the world. But with these new miracle drugs, the narrative absolutely flipped. And just by the way, I don't want to get into my personal thoughts and feelings on these. I think this is another case where you as an individual have to decide for yourself if the risk is worth the reward, and nobody else can tell you if it is or isn't. Anyway, the new standard recently has become pretty clear that fatness isn't something to embrace anymore. It's actually something to be fixed. And as more and more, particularly those in positions of power, so to speak, people who have large audiences, people who have a really big reach, have gotten thinner and thinner. Their audiences have not been taking this well. Remy Bader, a TikToker who built her brand on US size 16 clothing hauls, hyped up fans by telling them to just wear what they want. But she became the subject of ire after she dropped an enormous amount of weight via weight loss surgery. Not Ozempic.
Every single time. And when I say every single time, I mean every single time. It's a cope. None of these people want to be fat. None of them actually think fat is good. None of them think fat is healthy. None of them think it's tolerable or realistic or beautiful or any of these things. It's all a lie and a cope. Because let me tell you something. If you are a fat person and you don't want to look fat but you don't want to lose weight, all you really need to do is just surround yourself with fat people. And then people won't even notice how fat you are because you're surrounded by even fatter people. That's the strat. Instead of fixing yourself, you literally just convince other people to become fat, and then suddenly you aren't fat. Everyone is just kind of average at that point. That's the strategy. It really is. It's insane. They won't notice you're a walrus when you surround yourself with whales.
But still a medical intervention, so, you know, I'm gonna say that it fits. She stayed quiet about this for months, letting fans speculate, until she eventually revealed the truth on Khloe Kardashian's podcast. Her comment section was a war zone. Fans called her dishonest for not being upfront, feeling like she had abandoned them to be skinny. That's the long and short of it. More likely so she won't die of a heart attack.
I mean, I'll be honest, true. She pushed a dangerous ideology for years. Like, we can't let these people have a pass. All right, I'm sorry. I see people in my chat saying good for her. I mean, yeah, technically good for her that she's now healthier and she'll live longer and stuff like that. So that's obviously good for you. Good for you. Absolutely. You are pushing a toxic ideology to people, telling more people to become fat and kill themselves so that you personally feel better and can cope with the fact that you were a fat hoe. All right? I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry. That's insane. No, these people were literally pushing poison onto their communities and audiences so that she can cope.
Attack at 40. But their reasons make sense too. my guess? This experience was similar to that of fat influencer Rosie Blair, also known online as Rosie Beam, who I've discussed in previous videos. Back in January 2024, she posted about her weight loss journey, admitting to using Mounjaro, which is another one of these like injections. In one post, she wrote that weight loss meant that she felt like she had access to a world that she was previously missing. She liked not being concerned about the size of seating out in the world. She liked flying without feeling worried, and she liked working on her cardiovascular health to achieve her dream body. Now, normal, well-adjusted people would see this as a good thing. Being healthy is a good thing. Having access to the world around you is a good thing. Being able to fit in the world around you is a
Again, I'm not trying to be rude, because, like, I feel like, and I'm saying this for educational purposes, obviously I'm not happy that this happened to these people, alright? So this is a 24-year-old, influencer, a fat acceptance influencer. She's dead. She died at 24 from health problems. 24, she died of health problems. And then you look at, like, articles, Massey University academic cat paws die suddenly. No one could have seen this coming. Literally, no one could have seen this coming. This is literally a surprise. Like, I personally would have thought she would have lived to 106. Like, dude, it's insane. It's insane how often this happens. Again, it's super common because it's really unhealthy. But then they push it onto people in order to cope. And they literally propagandize their audience to kill themselves slowly.
Good thing. But this poor woman's audience didn't see it that way. They accused her of fat phobia. They actually have said some very, very awful things to her. They accused her of being ableist and suggested that she's suggesting that...
I actually don't feel bad for her. I don't know, man. Maybe I decided that my empathy needs to be placed in things that deserve my empathy. Because empathy is a made-up, fake-ass word that's made for people to grandstand and morally virtue signal. I don't feel bad for her. She built an audience propagandizing a toxic ideology that's designed to kill people so that you feel better about yourself and your fat ass. And now people are upset at you for literally betraying them because you did betray them. Quite honestly, you did betray them. You absolutely betrayed them. You pushed lies to them so you could cope, and then the moment you, a rich person, were able to afford drugs to snap your fingers and get a way out, you managed to become skinny, and all the people that you propagandized into eating chocolate all day and becoming fat asses, those people are going to be left carrying that bag. Sorry, I don't feel bad for you.
Fat bodies can't function. I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote. Blair responded saying that she left the body positive community because she
left the body positive community because she found a way to be skinny. That's why.
Wanted to be more than her size.
You liar. It's because now you were able to be skinny. You capitalized off fat people. You used this toxic ideology and propaganda to make money off making other people less healthy. And the moment you were able to turn that around, you did. Snake rat behavior. I have zero sympathy for you for getting shit from the body positivity community, which you created. No, zero sympathy. Sorry, you didn't subscribe to Nuxanor for sympathy. You subscribed for wit, facts, and a little bit of retardation.
The backlash eventually got so intense that some fans suggested everyone collectively unfollowing her entirely. But this has
valid. I don't support death threats or anything like that. Obviously, I don't think that that's appropriate, but backlash makes so much sense. Sorry. I don't want to be rude here. You deserved it. Like, you made your bed, now you will lie in it. Sorry. You will be smothered by the fats that you've created.
Of countless former fat activists and models and celebrities and what have you. Like Mindy Kaling. I've never said that word out loud, I've only ever read it, so not sure if I'm saying it right. Probably not.
Mindy Kaling is the woke person that made Velma, right? Velma, the really cringe show. This might come as a surprise to you. I actually met her once, like in a parking lot in Warner Brothers Studios in LA. That's the story.
But I don't care. Who has been accused of using Olympic to get skinny because she lost a ton of weight really quickly, and therefore was accused by fans of promoting fat food.
They were writing articles about me, actually, because I was the #1 biggest guy that was shitting on Velma, her story, her TV show. And then, like, right after Velma finished, and I made, like, a dozen videos shitting on it back in the day, I met her. Like, no, God. And I did not say a word to fear that she would recognize my voice and dox me. So I just, nodded politely and moved on.
Or in 2024, Oprah Winfrey, of all people, who stepped down from her lead role at Weight Watchers after admitting to using weight loss drugs, dropped 60 pounds, which I think is, like, what, 120 kilos
More,
in the correct,
You're kidding.
like, what, dropped 60 pounds.
Bro, 60 pounds is like 28 kilos. You're the opposite way. Bro, this is Australian math, bro.
Which I think is like, what, 120 kilos
Oh my god.
in the correct system of measurement. Her
Bro, she sounded so confident when she was converting it to kilos, and she literally flipped it. No.
ABC special, Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution pushed a stop shaming message.
I'm messaging her right now. Immediately. Sorry, Sydney, we're doing this. Let me just send her a message, because this is just funny. I was today years old when I learned that 60 pounds is 120 kilos in the correct measurement.
Centering weight loss as empowerment. Fans here were very upset because Oprah was supposed to be their OG fat positive icon, but obviously that quickly fell apart when she found a way out of obesity. So why does people losing weight, why does people bettering themselves, why do these weight loss drugs send the dying dregs of this movement into a complete tailspin? Well, a lot of these people built platforms on body positivity and fat acceptance, promoting an objectively terrible ideology.
The camera angle is not doing you favors. I don't want to be rude. That camera angle's diabolical.
That made people feel comfortable in their weight gain. Their weight loss, especially when it's quiet or framed as a health journey, feels like a middle finger to a community of people who want their own obesity reaffirmed. So it's not just about losing weight, it's about a huge cultural shift that's happening. One that signals that this movement never really had any legs to stand on to begin with, and is now slowly falling apart. Fat influencers leaving the movement absolutely started some time ago, and after the deaths of several well-known creators who died of
that's what I was talking about. They're actually dying out.
Obesity-related issues.
Bro, I could smell half these people through my computer. I'm just letting you know.
The departure has only accelerated. But honestly, it's not terribly hard to see why so many people feel
Bro, she has udders. Like, that's crazy. She actually has udders.
Abandoned by their favorite fat influencer, getting skinny and getting in shape, when psychology blogs are telling them it's completely valid to feel betrayed by...
That's right. That's the crazy part, man. That's the insane part. Like, this is propaganda. It really is. It's unhealthy propaganda. It's toxic, and that's why I feel no sympathy for these fat people that are like losing weight after building a community of fat acceptance, and then they lose weight, and then they get shit from their community. I don't feel bad for them at all. I have zero sympathy. They are literally pushing a toxic ideology, convincing people it's okay to kill yourself slowly.
Weight loss? By the weight loss of their favorite online people. This stuff is so...
Bro, she talks a big game for someone that can't walk up a flight of stairs.
Okay. And I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but it's not normal to feel this way. If anything, I think it's rooted in some deep-seated insecurity and jealousy. The sort of...
Every woman I see mad at her is fat or ugly, usually both. Yes, 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 yes! Kill the brood, mother!
Of, if I have to look like this, so do you type of thing. Which is ironic and interesting because that in and of itself has become this sort of new trendy school of thought because people forget that they don't actually have to be fat. What I think a lot of people here are actually mad about is the not so subtle reminder that if they wanted to improve, they could. Seeing someone bettering themselves, especially
especially when it comes to like the fat stuff, again, this is different than every mental illness on the planet, because you could argue that some mental illnesses can't be cured, can be cured, whatever. You could do your best over there in that regard. This literally, you can outrun this disease. And these people need to convince themselves it's normal, because otherwise it is 100% their fault. It is their fault. It's like a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction. It is 100% on them that they are killing themselves like this. So it's an insane cope.
Doing it through regular channels like diet and exercise, and I guess actually to an even larger extent with these weight loss shots, because a lot of people view it as a cheat code. Seeing people do these things and act like this serves as an example of all the things that this other group of people are not doing, but they could be doing if they wanted to, and it makes them feel bad. But instead of addressing the root causes of those very dysfunctional feelings and making positive changes to move through the world with better ease.
Move through the world. LOL!
We punish them. Yes, we punish them.
That's what I have to say.
Instead, these group of people demand that everybody else acquiesce to them and make changes in order to accommodate their hefty size. Which isn't just unrealistic, it's impossible. The bottom line is that weight loss drugs are not new. And honestly, putting efforts forward, especially in the medical community, to address obesity is also not new, and they are making strides. I think every couple years something new comes out that helps people shed a bunch of weight, and then a couple years after that we find out that it makes you grow like extra toes or whatever. I know that on a statistical level, people have been and are getting fatter, but I do think that we are going to see a big change there in coming years because we are returning to the aesthetics of the early 2000s especially, and that doesn't really in any way, shape, or form accommodate fat acceptance and body positivity in the messed up version that we find these days. Being hot and cute and sexy is back in, and especially as the
It's always been in, okay? All right, enough of this psyop. Stop with the psyop. The psyop is over. Let's make this clear. The psyop is ended. It's not that it's back in. It's always been in. It's always been in. Because, and this will surprise you. This will surprise you. Men have penises, and those penises have existed since the dawn of time. Since God invented the first man, we have always had penises. And those penises have a mind of their own. And they have always been attracted to attractive women, not fucking Ursula. All right? Oh, some people probably were into it. You get the idea that I'm trying to make. I'm sorry. It's that simple.
Entertainment industry and celebrity culture, and
it's always been in. It's just been suppressed.
And marketing move away from fat acceptance and body positivity. We're going to see a reemergence of attractive people everywhere in the coming years. And that is just my prediction, and I could be wrong, but 60% of the time I am right 100% of the time. Really early body positivity did have good intentions, but as with most movements, it was co-opted by insane people and weird initiatives, and that is why we are seeing it fall by the wayside. That is why we are seeing the death of fat acceptance, and honestly, I think this issue is only going to fall away further as the years progress. So in the end, I do think it's worth saying that I have so much respect for people who are trying to get in shape and lose weight. I think that's really cool. I think that is such a noble and good thing to be doing in this day and age. I think that there is no reason why you have—
I agree with everything she's saying. I just want to add a little caveat. I think we need to bring back shame. Like, you know, obviously positive reinforcement is really nice, but most importantly, I think we need to bring shame back. Like, we need to make fun of these people because it works.
To be fat, and if you are on a quest to get lean and healthy, that is awesome, and I genuinely wish all the best for you. But for the rest of us, I am sure this is not the last that we will hear about the dying fat acceptance movement as it loudly and quickly falls apart. Now on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just air mine. Check out Ground News using the link in the description.
Yep.
They have been a long—
Yeah, groundnews.com/Nuxanor. That ground.news/Nuxanor. Or Sydney! You can pick whoever you want. That's fine. You get 40% off the Vantage plan. It's a great time. Anyway, the moral of the story is don't be fat or you'll die young. All right? I'm saying this out of love. I don't want you to be fat. And if you are pushing fat propaganda, fataganda on the people, again, I say this also with love. That is the same as pushing alcoholism or pushing drug abuse. It is a vice. It is not healthy. You are killing yourself. And the one thing I have to say about the fat activists that were pushing this propaganda that lost all of their weight super fast, they lost their weight, and now all of a sudden they have a totally different perspective on life because they are no longer fat.
We punish them. Yes, we punish them with a hate-based enema. But no lube.
See you in the next one. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.